Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that's got everything for us photographers, and welcome along to my new small home studio, which is actually a little bit smaller than my old one, but never mind. We're still working on the acoustics in here, but at least I've got solid walls. Although ironically, in this shoot, that's not important because my background for this is going to be this emergency blanket. If I can get it out. There we go. This is an emergency blanket. It is a gold emergency blanket. My idea is I'm going to open this up, pin it to the wall and use it as a background in 3 different ways to create 3 different style images, each with their own look. I'm sure one of these will be an absolute winner. So let's get a light set. Let's get this up on the wall. Let's get a model in. Let's get shooting. So to help me out today, I've got the amazing Cherry. Cherry's going to be the model for this shoot, and I've already set up my background. I've gone with a sort of square pattern to begin with because it's quite an interesting shape. I'm going to start with the light where you might think it would be best, but it's not necessarily going to be the right place. Let me show you. So Cherry, if you'd like to go stand up against the background for me. Now I've already metered this out, so I've set my camera up, I've set the flash up. Let's take a picture like this with the flash around about Cherry's eye height and around about a 45-degree angle, a classic lighting position. Okay, Cherry, here comes a test picture. Here we go. And what you can see is a really bright hotspot on the top left corner, but the right-hand side is the opposite. It's slightly underexposed. So what I've done is really simple. I've just taken the light and put it up way high, about as high as I can get it in my small home studio. The thinking behind this is straight lines. So light goes in straight lines. When the light was at the same height as me, it was bouncing off the background straight into my lens. By putting the light really high, the light will bounce off the background and down onto the floor, hopefully not into my lens. Now I've had to remeter, I've done that already. Let's take a test shot for this and see how it looks. Cherry, are you ready? Here we go, a little test shot. And this time, that looks so much better. There's no hotspot in the corner anymore. It's more evenly illuminated. Yeah, that looks exactly what I'm after. There's one more thing I'd like to change with these pictures, and that is the color. At the moment, my camera is set to auto white balance, and when you fill the screen with a really strong single color, like yellowy gold, that can throw your auto white balance off quite considerably. So there's a couple of things I could do. I could use a gray card like the Color Checker Passport one here, or if I wanted real accuracy, I can make a color profile, which is actually what I'm going to do, and that way I can set the colors and the white balance correctly in post-processing. So to make this work, all I do is I give this to Cherry. Cherry, if you'd like to hold that for me. And she's going to hold that in front of her face in the same lighting that's lighting the scene. And I come in here and take a shot of the chart. Perfect. There we go. That's what I need. And now I can use that in post-production to get a perfect white balance for all of my pictures from now on. The color profile will help, but it's probably the white balance that's going to make the biggest difference. And I think I'm going to go for something just a little bit warmer than usual because this theme has a gold feel, and I think that's going to fit in really well. So I've got the light set, I've got the camera set, the color set. Cherry, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's take a few shots like this. Here we go. Nice as the background was before, I think it works a little bit better if you do this to it. So I've taken exactly the same background, and I've just scrumpled it all up and then stretched it all out again. That gives a much more of a distressed, less exact pattern look, and that's important if you're going to do this setup. What I've made here is a corner. Now I could have literally put it in the corner of the studio and done 2 walls, but you'll see why I've done it like this in a second. The advantage of having this sort of random pattern is I don't have to line up perfectly the lines of the rectangles from the last shot. So why have I made this? Well, very simply, 90-degree corners not quite good enough for the look I want to go for. I've just attached this to one of my pop-up backgrounds, and now, Cherry, this is going to come a bit closer to you. I can actually move my wall and change the angle to make it much, much tighter than it was before. Let's get that in there like that. I can't see. Are you right back there, Cherry? Yeah. Okay, cool. So that gives me a very different look. I want to make sure that there's no gap at the back, that that's nice and tight. So we'll just juggle this around a little bit. Yeah, that looks really good. Now, the lighting is still the same. It's still the same Explore 300 with a strip box on it. What I've done is metered it so it is the correct exposure. Let's just take a test shot, see how this looks. Okay, Cherry, here we go. And that looks pretty good. There's a little crease in the background, so I'll deal with that in a second. But you can see that this has a much more luxurious feel than the last setup. Light is coming down, it's bouncing around on that gold background. This looks fantastic. So I've straightened up the background, removed the crease, and I think we're good to go. So Cherry, are you okay? Okay, let's take a few shots like this. That's good. 3, 2, 1. Yes, there we are. Yay! That's how we roll. So to finish off, I've got the same crumpled up background, but just the background on its own, one sheet of the foil. I'm going to do a beauty style shot with this. So I've got my Explore 300 and I've got the strip box over the top of Cherry. I've got a reflector below, and you might be thinking I'm going to use the gold reflector. But if you think about what will happen, I'd have white light from the top, gold light bounced off from underneath. It would look really weird. We'd have two different colors of light on Cherry. Not really going to work too well. However, there will be some light fall off, the inverse square law, which might affect my background. Let's have a little look. So Cherry, I'm going to take a quick test picture just to see what we get. Here we go. And it looks pretty good. I like this look. This is a great look, but that background just lacks a little bit of shine. So to add a bit of sparkle around the back, I've got a second light. This time it's an Evolve 200. It's just going to throw a little bit of light back here. It's actually on its lowest possible power, 256 power, and it should be just enough just to put a little bit of sparkle back there and really elevate that background and give us that natural vignette on the background too. That's exactly the look we're going for. Okay, Cherry, are you ready to take some photos? Okay, here we go. Cherry is doing a great job modeling without any props, so I found these gold sunglasses, gold lenses. That all ties into the theme really well. Yeah, mini leaf blower, this is going to be fun. Let's see how much of Cherry's gold leaf makeup stays on. Of course, the great thing with this shoot is if you wanted to do a silver themed shoot, well, silver's on the back of this blanket. But of course, I've been going for gold and this has worked out really well. Now, if you've got any questions or you've enjoyed this video, leave me a comment below. Click on the bell icon and you'll never miss a video right here on Adorama TV. We have new stuff coming in pretty much every single day. And of course, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.